Oh, it's lovely to have company.
It's lovely to be here.
I love visiting art clubs, but I'm often just sat alone, chattering away. Nice to have you here, Jane, particularly as you're called Bradley.
It's true, it's true.
There
yeah.
you go.
I wonder if we're related, Helen.
Well, it's highly likely, maybe. I don't know.
Today we're going to be meeting Scottish actor Cara Wilson, who's performing here at the Fringe. She's going to be telling the story of Helen Bradley, an artist who she feels was kind of under-recognised during her time, and she is going to be telling her story while on stage painting a picture that Helen would have painted. I'm Jane Bradley, arts and culture correspondent at the Scotsman, and we're going to go meet Helen now.
Oh, it's lovely to have company.
It's lovely to be here.
I love visiting art clubs, but I'm often just sat alone, chattering away. Nice to have you here, Jane, particularly as you're called Bradley.
It's true, it's true.
There
yeah.
you go.
I wonder if we're related, Helen.
Well, it's highly likely, maybe. I don't know. Do you know that my son had 5 children?
Right.
That gave me an awful lot of grandchildren. I got 7 grandchildren. And I used to say that the grandchildren were the inspiration. And then I thought, maybe it was more the irritation. And what are they like?
But the thing is, you are not actually painter Helen Bradley, are you? You are Scottish actor Cara Wilson.
All right, I am.
And you're playing the part of Helen Bradley to tell her story on stage at the Fringe.
That is right. And I'm very excited that you're here to talk about it. Yes. I'm Scottish, born in Glasgow, but I've been in London so long, I'm not as Scottish sounding as you might expect. But very excited to be at the Fringe again.
So you're going to be painting a picture by artist Helen Bradley live on stage every day. Is that right?
That is right. This is the painting I'm going to paint. You can just see the outline. I would be mad if I started without an outline. So it's she paints her family. She paints her Edwardian childhood. This is her, tiny little Helen Bradley and her brother George. And she got excited with all these grandchildren in showing them what it was like. But what excited me about her was she didn't start until she was 65.
She didn't start painting till she was 65?
No, so she was a grandma painter. And as a grandma painter myself, I felt a great akin to her. I felt she was one of me. She spent the whole time just being a housewife. And then at 65, she thought, I have to do something. I can't let housework win. And so she started to paint.
And as well as being an actor, you're obviously a very talented painter yourself, or you wouldn't be able to reproduce these amazing pictures.
It's true. It's true. I think you do have to paint. I mean, I've written now 6 plays, and I'm hoping that there will be sometime in the future an actress who can paint, who wants to do them. And my first 2, I sang as well, but I'm getting older now and I don't sing. But not all painters burst into song anyway. But yes, you have to be able to paint. Somebody once said, can I do your play in New York? And I said, can you paint? And she said, I'm going to take classes. And I thought, oh, well, good luck. And she ended up copping out and she put the canvas around the other way and pretended to the audience she was painting, but you couldn't see it.
So you've written these plays yourself?
I have.
And this is the 6th of your painter plays?
It is. Beryl Cook was here 2 years ago and I did Vanessa Bell last year. Very, very different. So this one is humorous. She's wonderful Lancashire wit. It's a bit like an Alan Bennett talking head, you know. Even the names of the streets in Oldham are funny, I think. Buckley and Proctor in Victoria Street. I mean, it sounds very like an Alan Bennett.
And you've actually got some descendants of the artist coming to see the show.
Yes, that's the only way I managed to find out enough about her, because I couldn't, she wrote books and the books are out of print and I couldn't find a family. And then I found the family on Ancestry.com. And I got in touch and I said, could you be the granddaughter? And it was the granddaughter. And she liked the idea of me doing this. And we met in rainy and windy train stations. And she gave me letters and photographs. So I'm greatly thankful to her for giving me all the extra stories. When a whole lot of family came to see a preview, there were family members who came up and said, I didn't know that. So that was nice.
And has that been the case with all of the plays? Have you had to research them? Have you spoken to family members They've all
Well,
been painters who are no longer with us, is that right?
yes, all dead, but some more recently dead. Beryl Cook was more recently dead, and she was the first one that I had to find living family. And her son was wonderful. So I got him, and he helped me. And I'm still doing the Beryl Cook because she died 100 years ago this year. So we're doing shows, the same show that I did here 2 years ago in Plymouth for her birthday, her 100th birthday it would have been.
Fantastic.
So,
and you have to prepare a canvas for each show. So have you been working on this for weeks at home in your studio?
yes, I have 25 drawings like this. Not easy. That itself takes a while. Yes, I bring up 25. With Beryl Cooks, I was allowed to sell them after the show, but the Bradley family don't want a whole lot of fakes circulating because she was bothered by fakes in her life. In her life, they tried to fake her. So much so that she was on Desert Island Discs, and they said, what book would you like to take with you? And she said, a law book on copyright. So she didn't want anybody. If she was here today, she'd say, oh, Cara, can't you do better than that? No, I don't know what she'd say. Anyway, do you want to see the one that it's going to turn into, or shall we do
Can we see you doing a little bit of painting? Would you like me to move out the way so you can...
You don't.
Oh, I'm okay here.
Out
Okay,
of the
great.
way. I mean, I think what I've heard is there was a tradition. I don't have to go into character, do I? I can
do what you
paint
want.
it as character. That's completely new. No, Mother wore white. Oh, you see, I can't help but go into character. This is Mother and the aunts, her sisters. There's his mother and Aunt Mary and Aunt Frances. Well, she was christened Fanny. That's an outrage, isn't it? So I always called her Frances. But their father was a master tailor who sat, I don't know, you can't do the voice and then not be the character. Right, Cara. Their father was a master tailor, so he taught them all to sew. So they made their own dresses. So clothes were very, very important. And this is the little Helen she grew up with all these dresses being made in the living room. Although upstairs in that house, in Lees near Oldham, they had actually her whole dress is white. So until I put the pink waistband on, it's a little boring to watch, except I think the audience enjoys such a bold colour from a distance as white. They made their own clothes, and particularly for Whitsuntide, when there was something called the Whit Walks, and they all liked to have a new outfit for the Whit Walks, preferably white. So, but Mother wore white a lot. And the children, Helen and George, they wore sailor suits. Let's try and paint her completely. She was a lovely mother, I think, to Helen. They all had eccentricities. That's why it's such fun to talk about them. She had a thing about thunderstorms. Ooh, let's give her a nice pink face. She had the feeling that, she was convinced that the only way, she was terrified of thunderstorms, you had to open the front door wide, open the back door wide, and then lock yourself in the parlour with the light out. That way, if thunder struck, then the lightning bolt would have a clear passageway through the house. Did you come up with that theory in your family?
I don't think I did, no.
I Googled it.
Have you tried it?
No, I haven't tried it. I Googled it, though, and it is quite a common thing. But Helen herself, she was frightened not of thunderstorms. She was frightened of cows. Now, why cows, you might think? She didn't mind them in their fields, but in those days, the cows were brought in on the train into the village of Lees, and they were run through the streets to the butcher shops who did their own slaughtering in sheds behind. So you could see a loose cow on the street at any time. And that was what terrified. This is a picture entitled, "Oh, look," said Mother. And you can see she's slightly shocked at what she's seen, and the story will evolve during the hour at what she's looking at. Oh, look, let's put her beautiful. everybody looked so lovely in Helen's paintings.
They've got beautiful clothes.
Yeah, you cannot imagine that they would go to the shops looking at this. Every afternoon they went for a walk. That was the funny thing. They had to get the fresh air because of all the mills around, and the sky was more of a yellow than a blue. So they would go out walking every day, and they'd pick everybody up from the street. So there was about, 10 of them went out walking every day. And one of them was Mr. Taylor, the bank manager, who was a widow out of mourning, and all the ladies were hoping that he was going to propose to one or other of them, particularly Miss Carter, who is a high profile in this story. But what she's looking at, and what I reveal at the end of the show, is she's looking at this picture, where Mr. Taylor, the bank manager, is making up his mind to go for Emily Maitland, who lived up the road, and not Miss Carter, who wore pink. Scandal! But you don't find that out till the end.
Well, everyone will have to come and watch your show so they can have that reveal. And this is amazing. I mean, the shading you've managed to do and everything just in such a short time.
She had,
fantastic.
She had one of those nice little braiding around the edge, and she has lips, which I've got to make sure I have time to give everybody lips.
Do you think you'll get bored painting the same picture every day?
Well, you don't, because it goes slightly different every day, so it's always exciting. I don't always paint the same bit to the same words, so that makes it exciting, because I then have to look and see, what have I not done? So she's going, oh, look, and she's got a lovely white parasol. They had parasols all the time too. So that's the finishing touch, is the parasol of Mother.
Oh, that's brilliant. And have you got plans for more of these painter plays in the future? Do you think there'll be any more Scottish artists?
Well, I am reading a book about Jessie King, and I'm excited about her. She lived a good age and she was very productive, and I went to where she lived, looked at the house she lived in, looked at her work. Don't know, it's very decorative fairies with, it would need to be drawn rather than painted. I don't know. But I
think on stage.
Yes, difficult.
Well, we might see you back at next year's Fringe.
I hope so.
Yeah, so you've got a show today in about half an hour, I think.
Yes.
Are you prepared for that?
I am. Throw this one away, cover it up, maybe wash it off even. A bit of turp so we can start again. There she is.
Well, thank you so much. It's absolutely great, and thank you so much for telling us all about Helen today.
Well, that's lovely. Very nice. I'll just give her feet. She needs a couple of